Welcome to online lectures by CA Studies. For more lectures online, please do visit castudies.lk.
Hi everyone, welcome to BL6 Management Accounting subject. I'm Claire Leonu, your lecturer for this subject. So as you all know, this subject is also an MCQ paper of 50 questions, 2 marks each. And it's a mix of theoretical and calculation. So in terms of theory, you are supposed to learn mainly the keywords of a particular context. That is your technique when it comes to theoretical aspects. And when it comes to calculations, of course, you will need to know your formulas and the how to analyze your information, all of those stuff associated with calculation. Okay. So in today's video, we will be focusing on chapter 1, which will introduce you to management accounting area. Okay. So, management accounting. In this session, we will learn role of a management and a financial accountant, how it differs. And then what is meant by cost accounting. Then what is data and information. And what are the qualities of a good information. And what types of information can we access within an organization? And the levels of information, like which information can we expect from which level of authority. That's what they mean. And the planning process. And then comes with the planning process the levels of planning. And then you have management control systems. Okay. Now, what do you all know about management accounting? When you hear the word accounting, you might feel, okay, it must be debits and credits. Am I right? You might think, okay, there's a transaction and I got to figure out my accounting standard and do the double entry and present the information. Yes, it is a role of an accountant and part of accounting, but not a management accountant's role, because management accountant focuses on analyzing information, maybe some debit credit, but not of a past information. It may use previous data, but the information is more futuristic, more towards the future. And it is internal, never external. And it is not accurate because it didn't happen. It's a future information. So it has a lot of assumptions. Therefore, you cannot make like a firm, confirmed decision out of it, but an approximate decision, of course, you can do only with the information provided by a management accountant. Then, who does the double entry and who records the daily transactions? That is done by a financial accountant. A financial accountant only is a person who prepares monthly P&L, monthly balance sheet, and does it all through the recording and processing of daily transactions of a business using the accounting standards. And a financial accountant's role is more legally required when compared to a management accountant. Okay. Now, why do I say it is not legally required for a management accountant? You see, management accounting information includes, right? It includes budgets. Okay, budgets. And you have performance reports, right? And you got productivity reports. What else? And costing reports. Net present value, investment appraisal calculation, right? Appraisals. Basically, these are the information you will expect from a management accountant. So, is budget legal? Does the government need budgets of a company? No. Now, if you are doing taxes, you will know we pay taxes on actual taxable profits. The profits that we earn during a year. When you learn the tax subject, or if you have already learned, you will get to know on the actual profit only we pay tax. So, budgets is irrelevant to the government, right? And performance reports. Does the government need to know how the company is performing? No, they don't want to know that. That is not their problem. Government's aim is to only collect taxes from the company, also to see if they are doing a legal business or not. Those are the two aims of the government. To satisfy those aims only, they will legalize providing some information about the company. And that information will not be highlighted through a performance report. Okay. And you have productivity reports. Same. Right? Costing reports. A costing report focuses on actually how much is the cost of a particular product. That is how your cost reports focus. So, does the government or any other, Companies Act, everything is under the government. So, do they want to know how much you are spending to produce your product? No, they don't want to know that. They only want your actual profit and whether your business is legal or not, right? And then finally, investment appraisals. These are also some costing measures, like not part of costing but actually to make decision making strategies. Now, when you read this list, what do you think it is? Like, what is the key feature that you feel when you look at this list? The key feature is they are all internal, right? So, they focus on providing information to internal parties. That is why they are not legal, and that is why it is not compulsory to have a management accountant, but of course, to exercise decision and control within the organization, to create strategies within the organization, you need management information, management accounting information. Okay, So with that, let's move to our table which compares a management accountant's role with a financial accountant's role. Okay. A management accountant prepares management accounts for internal managers of an organization. Alright, it's internal. Who are the internal managers? This is the important thing you should remember for your MCQ. Who are they? Senior managers or board of directors or anyone internal who has the power to make a decision from that information. So in your question they will give an example where a person may be responsible to look over a particular area. And they will ask like, is he judging a management information or a financial information? So you should identify whether the type of information relates to something that is not legally bound, which is and something that is useful for decision making for the future. There can be budget, performance reports, productivity or costing reports, investment appraisal, decision reports, anything of them, right? And yeah. Then what is a financial accountant? They prepare financial accounts to external parties. The external parties are shareholders, customers, suppliers, employees and tax authorities. Why does the tax authority need your accounts? Okay, first question, what are the financial information? Financial information are, what are they? Guess. Should be P&L, balance sheet, right? Your cash flow statement, statement of equity, all the associated financial statements, right? This is the financial information. This is management information. These are for external parties, right? And these are for internal parties. Now, why does a tax authority needs these information? They want to check if you are paying paying taxes on actual profits, which can be taken from your P&L. But a person will not generally just take a P&L only. They want to look at the overview. They can see and judge based on their balance sheet, their cash flow and equity statement. Equity statement. Now, okay, let's leave alone tax authorities. What about the government? Why do they need to see statement of equity and all of it? Statement of equity, they will see whether the share capital is invested within the stock exchange, or is it a valid transaction? Are there notes to that transaction? Are there evidence? How evidence comes? When there are notes to financial statement, right? In there they might refer to these financial statements and explain how certain figures during the year was received. So then they will then be able to check, especially by their equity statement and the balance sheet, also cash flow, whether they have done legal transactions and whether it is a legal business still. Are they doing it legally? They can find out. Because just imagine, for example, okay, now you have your cash flow statement and there's a big cash inflow, you know, from a like some weird transaction. So the government or the tax authority might question that. Mostly a tax authority also, or a government representative under the Companies Act who's appointed under that act. They will look into why this company has got that much cash. Did they fraud, or did they bribe, or is it part of a new business line which they did not disclose? Okay. So that's why they have legalized financial information, and that is to be used for government and shareholders. Then I didn't tell, okay, what about customers, suppliers and employees? What can they do using financial accounts? A customer can make a decision based on this balance sheet and P&L to see how well the business has done. Meaning they will look sometimes the P&L mainly and look at the revenue. If the revenue is high, that means it's a very highly demanded product. That is one point. And so maybe the quality is very good. So that's why the customers are demanding for this business. So it means it's a good business to buy from. That could be one potential decision. What about a supplier then? Supplier's main objective is what? To collect money from the business. Whether the business is in a liquid position to pay the supplier for the goods and services obtained. So what they will mainly look at out of these statements? They will mainly look at the balance sheet and the cash flow statement. The balance sheet will tell how much of trade creditors is available as at their year end. Is it very high? And then they will look at the age payable due report, aging report. And they will see, okay, how well do they settle their creditors, right? And then cash flow, have they generated enough cash during the year? Which means in the previous year also have they done the same? If so, then we can assure that in future year also, based on their notes to financial statement, we can expect some positive cash flow based on other financial information provided in their annual report, right? So suppliers will judge like that, and then they will decide if they are cash healthy, let's make business, let's sell our product, let's promote our product to this company. And they will also look at whether this company is a growing company. If it's a growing company, they will like to sell because definitely their raw materials will be constantly demanded. So that can be a potential customer check in a supplier's point of view. They can check for best customers using the financial information provided by them. So this is the purpose of a financial and a management information, like an overview of it. Okay, now let's go through in detail the differences. So next they say the input data for management accounts is same as the input data for financial accounts. Now, for budgets, from where do they get information? They get information from their previous records. Previous records means What are the records? Can be previous P&L, previous balance sheet, external information, right? Current information, so many things. Some non-financial information, right? So a management account can get information using from a financial accounts, isn't it? And financial accounts also will use prior year figures, to compare, right? Now that is one way of using the same data. They are also using financial accounts information. Financial account people also using financial account information. Then let's go deep. What about the individual line items? Let's say now budgets. They might prepare a budgeted P&L, right? Now budget means they'll prepare some P&L or balance sheet, no? Or a budgeted cash flow statement. Either one of these items only they will show in their budget. Okay. So budgeted P&L, how do they get the information for that? A budgeted sales figure, how do they get the information for that? They look at the monthly sales that goes on. Every month on average, what is our sale? Then what financial P&L, financial statements P&L, what do they? From a financial statements P&L sale value, from where do they check it? Or from where do they get it? That also from a monthly sales figure. Here so both of them are using the same source. Can you understand? The same source of data. They use monthly sales figures, actuals. They also use monthly sales actuals. Difference is they analyze it differently. How? In the budget, they take the monthly sales actual and add an element, increment or decrease, percentage, and give the budgeted figure. That's what they do. But financial accounts don't do that. They report the actuals only, no? So they will just take the monthly sales figure, take the total for the year and present it in their accounts. So you see, they are using the same information. Monthly data is the same. Because both are working for one company and both will have access to the same information. That's why they say input data for a financial and management accounts are the same. The way it is analyzed is only different. So keep that thing very well in your mind. They might ask for an MCQ just to check whether they... Now remember, in the MCQ they will ask you data and information. We will learn next about it. In this scenario, what they are saying is the input data. Remember that word. Don't take input information, input data. Data is the raw material of information. That means it is just available. Nobody can make a decision based on data. But information are already processed data. That means you took your data and you have processed it in a way that will give you a meaning. how you read it and understand it. So that information is obtained. So that is information, and the data is only the source. So the source for management and financial accounts are the same, but the output, which is the information from the management account, is different to what is from the financial accounts. Alright, that's what you need to know. Then, management accounts are used to make and their decisions and exercise control. Management accounts, I told you, they are internal and they can be used to make a decision and control the way the resources will be allocated, because it is futuristic. That means it targets the future. Okay, that is why they say management information is basically can exercise control. But financial accounts, they say it provides just a detail about an organization's performance in a defined period. So just it's an information about a past performance only. Okay. Then you got management accounts follow organization format of reports, while the format for financial accounts is determined by the International Accounting Standards Board. Management accounts follow a format that the senior managers require to see. That means that the person who is receiving it requires to see. That's the format a management account report would follow. A financial accountant's report will follow the standard format specified by the International Accounting Standards Board and the local regulation, right? So, but mainly the accounting standards that it is. Okay. Remember that format for financial accounts is decided by the International Accounting Standards Board, and format for management accounts is decided by the board of directors or senior managers, internal people. Alright, remember that. Management accounts focus on specific areas of organization activity. Financial accounts focus on a business as a whole. Management accounts is not prepared for the purpose of showing the performance, like entirely of the business. They are just done to give for the on an ad hoc basis, for a specific need only. Let's say they want to see if having a department is profitable or not. How do they decide? They will not show information about the entire business to say about that department only. They will use the information from that department and present only the department's information to the senior managers or board of directors. So that is called focusing on specific organization activity. But when it comes to financial accounts, they focus on the entire organization, because that is where the external parties and internal parties can see how they have performed during the previous year, then how effective their decisions were, because using management accounts only they made some decisions, and the decisions outcome is only shown in the financial accounts. Okay, because it shows the past performance, this shows the future performance. So let's say you prepared a budgeted P&L for 2020 and now 2020 is over. You will prepare the actual P&L. Actual P&L is part of the financial accounts, right? And budgeted is part of the management accounts. Then you compare both. Okay, that's how management and financial accounts like interlink. So basically, so that's why like it's just actual P&L just shows the actual performance, whilst budget does not show that, it shows on a whole something specific, or on the actual business performance also it will give to some extent, but mainly on specific areas of organization activity. Another way to look at it is, if you take a budget, right, your main focus, right, your main focus will be in a budgeted P&L, let's say, okay, budgeted P&L, you have budgeted P&L, right, you have sales 100,000, alright, K, and then you have cost of sales, all budgeted figures 50,000. Okay, let's assume these are actuals, okay, actuals, and then you get a profit of, simple budget profit of 50,000. To have an impact to your budget, right, you will target only to increase sales by 10%. Okay. So 10% of 110,000 is 10,000, 110,000, you get your budgeted figure. Other things this is maybe a fixed cost and you don't go to change, you will learn it in the next chapter, but just think now there's something called fixed cost. So it doesn't change, you are not targeting to change it, you are targeting to change only your sales. That is called focusing on specific areas of organization activity. Even though you showed your budget entire P&L, but you are budgeting actually for sales only, to create a sales target only. So that is what this difference means. Now let's look at the next. Management information is of non-monetary and monetary nature, of course. But financial information is based on monetary nature only. Management information, if you take for example, now this increment in sales, okay, you can't simply say the sales will increase surely. You should have a demand factor to prove it, right? So you will look at the external environment, external demand patterns, okay, in Sri Lanka. Demand pattern in Sri Lanka. And only decide, okay, our demand for the product is increasing, so we can increase our sales also, something like that. So the external demand information is non-financial. It is not in money terms, no. Of course, it is a number, but it is not cash related, right? That's why it's called non-financial information. So you see, based on the non-financial information, you create a financial information in the management accounts. Okay. So other non-financial information, we've given example like monthly machine hours. If you take a manufacturing company, how many hours of will the machine work to produce your product? Like that, you have to be able to make judgments, right? So you will need such non-financial information to make a judgment on what financial information you can expect. Okay. And when it comes to financial accounts, it doesn't go to predict anything. So, financial accounts are mainly these four only. So, it will use only monetary items because all are presented in rupees. So, they have a it's all are numbers but monetary figures. That's the key word, monetary. And they say management accounts are both a historic record and a future planning tool, which we just discussed. It is using past information to give an idea about the future and to create decision strategies for the future, while a financial account is only a historic picture of past operations. Fine. So with that, we conclude differences in the role of a management and financial accountant and their information provider. So the role of a management accountant is only to provide management accounts, and financial accountant is to provide financial accounts, and financial accountant is legally required, management accountant is not legally required, right? That is only about the role, and the rest was about the information type we can get from a management and a financial standpoint. Okay, that's how it was broken. Now let's look at cost accounting. So what is cost accounting? Have you all heard it? Are you all aware of? I spoke about it also. So cost accounting is a part of management accounting. That is but only a part, because I showed that initial list where we had budgets, and then we had cost reports, performance reports. I hope you all remember. So those are part of the cost accounting method. These are all budgets, productivity reports, right? And other performance related report. They are all part of management accounting. Like general management accounting. And within management accounting, we have cost accounting. Cost accounting reports only you will learn in the next chapters. We will be talking about absorption costing, marginal costing, and what is fixed cost, variable cost, all of that. So everything comes under cost accounting reports, right, which is a part of management accounting. That's what you should know. So they've given a definition, gathering information on costs and assigning them to various entities. So basically you gather, maybe say you are going to start a production, and you want to find the cost of the new product. Then what you will do? You will first consider, okay, how much is my direct labor cost? How much is my material cost, right? And how much of overhead, fixed cost do I have, right? And you will decide what is my total cost of making the product. So this is the cost accounting that I spoke about. Only focusing on finding how much cost we will incur in that particular activity. Okay, fine. So yeah, so that's what you should know. And they've given the features of a cost accounting. So features are, it will be used to calculate cost of goods and services provided, department costs, revenue also. Revenue, now I told it is focusing on cost, okay. Now if you see the BL2 subject, or if you are not, I will repeat, costs, maybe we charge the selling price or set the selling price based on the cost of our product. So that's where the revenue comes in the cost reporting. Because a new product, we don't know how much it will go for us to create that product, and we don't know, okay, to make a profit, how much selling price we should charge from the customer. So we do a cost report where we identify all the costs of the product, and then we set a price or margin, profit margin on top of the cost, which is actually not margin, we call it markup, and find a selling price. So that is where revenue comes into the play of cost reporting. Then we have profitability. So once we find the revenue, we can find how much is the cost and find the profitability. Then set prices, again revenue. Inventory valuation. Inventory valuation for management accounts. Why do we want inventory balances or inventory cost for management accounts? They are to prepare budgeted balance sheet and to do some other costings that we will learn we need, but for now you could just imagine like a budgeted balance sheet. You will need your inventory costs calculated in cost accounting methods like absorption, marginal costing, ABC costing likewise. So with that we come to future costs and comparison of actual and budgeted costs. So future costs means budgeted costs, and comparison of actual and budgeted costs are the variance analysis we do as a management accountant, because we want to exercise control over the information or the decision we make. So once we prepare the budget, we compare it with the actual of that particular month and see how well we have achieved our budget. And if we have not achieved our budget, we will look for reasons and question the department managers as to why they couldn't achieve their budget. With that we finish cost accounting features. The key here, the takeaway for you for your exam is to remember the key words in each: cost of goods and services, department cost, revenue, profitability. Those keywords you should remember because those only will come for the MCQ. So you need to, it's not enough to just, you have to understand the concept and at the same time please memorize the keywords. Okay. Let's move to our next topic, data versus information. Very small topic. I told earlier as well. Data means raw material for information. Remember that the raw material for information is data, and information is processed data that is created to create a meaning to the reader of information. So in clear terms, process data in a way it's meaningful to the person who receives it. Example, you take what? Okay, best is the questionnaire. You remember, you will know, like if you ask your colleagues, they do research reports, right? So they now even like for their exam, people might do research reports. For their business, when we are trying to see whether we will have a demand for our product or not, do you see that people used to sell test products, sample products for free? So what they are doing there, and they ask the taste whether it's good or bad, and you comment. Your comments then are raw data, because they are just a comment, and we just see a list of comments which doesn't give a meaning. Because why it doesn't give a meaning? Because we can't make a decision out of that data. That's why it is meaningless. That's why it is a raw material only for information. Then why raw material for information? Information means something meaningful. So to make a data meaningful, we have to analyze the comments, right? Okay, how many customers said that the taste was fine? How many rejected the product? Then you make a calculation. Okay, out of total sample crowd of let's say 50, you just think, right? Out of 50, 10 people only rejected. The rest 40 accepted our product. They said it was very nice. Then you can make a decision, right? Oh, okay, out of our sample, majority likes our product. That means we have a demand for it. We can sell our product. It will be a success. That is called information. Data we have analyzed. Another word for analyzed is processed. Data processed to create a meaning for the reader of that information, or to fulfill the purpose of the information, is called information, and therefore that is why a data is called a raw material for information. Alright. So with that we finish data versus information. I remember they have asked once in a question. So these are easy MCQs to remember. Remember the definition, that's it. Or they might give an example. So if you feel that something is analyzed, then that is information. If it is not analyzed and just several items, that's the key to identify. You have several types of information presented. They might ask whether it is data or information. You should say it is data, because it's several types, and they cannot make a decision out of it. Okay, so that's the way to figure out whether it will be a data or information. You should think whether can I make a decision straight away from it or not. If I can make a straight decision, that's information. If I have to do some other analysis and only make a decision, that is data.
Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned with castudies.lk for more lectures online.